Hi, welcome. Today we are going to be talking about depression in men. If you are new to this channel, please subscribe. If you are my returning subscribers, thank you for trusting and believing in me, knowing that there is something that you could get from this channel. We're from Cameroon and I'm based here in UAE. So today we are going to be talking about depression. Depression is a very sensitive topic, because nowadays we think that only women go into depression, but I want to tell you that even men nowadays go into depression. Depression, it's not something that is written on the face. It's a medical condition. It's not written on the face, but you can see someone and notice that this person is going through depression. Why? Because it's a mental disorder. It's something that makes you to think that the world have abandoned you. It comes with a lot of mood changes. You see somebody who was happy, somebody who is always joyful, somebody who is always cheerful, somebody who is in fact very vibrant in the society. All of a sudden you see that person being sad, you see that person cannot eat, you see that person going through a lot. The person thinks a lot, and it's a psychological problem, and it's a mental disorder, which if you don't look keenly, if you don't, what I'm saying is that if you do not really know how somebody was living before, you cannot really look at somebody and say this person is depressed. But I want to tell you that men in our society, if you look at African American, if you look at Africans, look at Asians, in fact the world is going through depression, and nobody is, in fact people are really not talking about it, because we see that nearly everybody is depressed. So depressed is that condition whereby your mood changes. You think that the world has abandoned you. So what are those causes that could lead someone into depression? If you look at family wise, you look at relationship issues. So many people are going through relationship issues that had made them to move into depression. For example, if a man loses his wife, do you think that that man will be happy? Do you think that that man could just accept it? Because before, in fact, he knew how he used to live with his wife. If you are just joining me, please like, subscribe and share, because there is a man somewhere that is going through depression, and I'm sure listening from this message, that man will be able to come out from depression. Because today we are not only going to talk about the causes of depression, we are going to tell you about those things that you can possibly do to come out of depression. So please click the subscribe button below. Why not turn on the notification bell, so that whenever I come out with new health talks like this, you are going to be notified. So we are talking about one of those causes of depression, like relationship issues. If a man discovers that his wife does not love him, if a man discovers that the affection or the relationship with his wife is not as before, don't you think that that man will go into depression? Do you think that a man will sit and know that his wife is cheating on him, will not enter into depression? There are so many relationship issues that will make a man to go into depression. For example, if you were showing your husband so much attention, you cook for him, you wash his things, you make sure that the house is clean, man comes into the house and see everywhere dirty, and see you not doing the things you used to do before, the hugs and the things like that. Excuse me. The man notices that your character towards him has changed as a wife. Don't you think that that man will go into depression? Oh yes, he will. He will go into depression. Another thing that makes our men or our husbands, our fathers, our brothers to go into depression nowadays is job issues. Do you think that a man, for example, will go through primary schools, secondary school, university, he learned a trade, or he has written so many concours, there is no job, maybe he tried so many, he has tried so many, in fact, so many ways to make it in life, to have a good job, but nothing is moving? Do you think that such a man will be happy? Do you think that such a man will be joyful? No. Such a man will not be happy. Do you think that a man who has just lost his job will be happy? Obviously not. He will not be happy. He will be depressed. He will think that the world has abandoned him. He will think that he is a failure. He will think that he's failing, especially that man that has a wife, has children, has families that are depending on him. Such a man will be so depressed and downcasted. So you, that woman, that you find your husband in such a situation, you need to support him. You don't need to start giving him those words that you think that the world has abandoned him. Because in a crisis like this, you are the first person as a wife to understand your husband. You are the first person as a mother to understand your son when he is going through such a mood. Your husband has just received a sack letter. Do you think such a man will be happy? That kind of a man cannot eat. He cannot talk to anybody. He just wants to be alone. That is when you know that that depression has eaten deep into him, because he does not want to talk to anybody. He does not want. Those are the signs of depression. When you don't want to talk to anybody, when you want to be alone, you see people just keep nodding their heads like this. They are thinking, in fact, they start doing things that are not even necessary. You see somebody making like this for hours. You don't know why. It's depression. So women, please try to make sure that you understand your husband. Mothers, fathers, make sure you understand your sons, your children, so that whenever they are falling into depression, you could easily understand. So my people, we are still talking about depression. If you're just joining me, please like, thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so that whenever I come out with new video, you are going to be notified. We are talking about causes of depression. Another thing that I think that, another reason why I think that men nowadays go into depression is the fact that their physical health, yes, physically. You see a man going into depression, let's say that man was healthy, he was fine. When he was driving to work, he had an accident and one of his leg or hand was amputated, or it leads to a physical challenge. Do you think that that man will not go into depression? And isolation is another thing, because things like this, sometimes if you really don't have a strong community of friends and family, people will abandon you. When you lose your job, people will abandon you before you think you have friends. But when you see yourself in such a state, you see that even your wife and family will even abandon you. Such a man will go into depression. Such a man will feel isolated. Such a man, his morals will go down. So you really don't need to feel like that. One of the ways in which you could get away from depression, identify that thing that is making you depressed. Is it a relationship issue? You need to identify it. Okay, the reason why I'm thinking every day, maybe my wife is not doing this, maybe my wife is not doing this, maybe my marriage is not working. Call your wife, call your spouse and talk about it. Because if you talk about it, maybe she was doing something ignorant, but you identified it as a problem. So maybe if you talk about it, she will adjust. She will say, okay, maybe she will come to an understanding that she was making a mistake. So talk about those things. Don't die in silence, because when you are depressed, it can lead to so many frustrations. It can lead to having an heart attack. It can lead you to, in fact, committing suicide. So depression is not good. Learn those things that you can do in order to leave that mode of depression. if you think that it is job related issues, if you are a subordinate in your office, why not walk to your boss and say, boss, please, I am disturbed because of this and this. If you are a boss and you think that your subordinates, those under you, are not working the way you think, why not go into a training session with them, train them so that they could meet the standard in which you want? Yes. So if it is a health issue, maybe you just discovered that you had a sickness and it's giving you depression, go to the hospital, talk with your doctor, meet a counselor, and the counselor will help you to talk you out of that depression. So my people, we have come to the end of this wonderful topic, depression. And another thing that could identify someone that is having depression is insomnia. I forgot to talk about it. When you find it difficult to sleep, because when you think that those problems has overshadowed you, my God, you cannot sleep. You keep turning from left to right. So please avoid depression. Be happy. Make yourself to be happy. Visit those people you think that they could cheer you up. Remember those friends that you think that when you visit them, they can make you laugh. They will make you laugh out your depression. Visit those, in fact, do those things you used to do that makes you happy. Is it going to the pool? Is it going to the beach? Is it reading books? Is it watching a powerful preacher online that you know that whenever you watch him you're happy? Is it reading the Bible? Read it, because even from there you could get yourself out of depression. So thank you. Please subscribe so that whenever I come up with new videos like this, you will be the first to be notified. I am Marvel, all the way from UAE. Bye for now, and God bless you.